It is Wednesday, May 24th, 2023, and today we're going back to the 1980s, WWF, two wrestlers that are some of the greats of that time, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, one-on-one here on WWE 2K23. These two were some of the big stars of the 80s, the WWF. Steamboat was in Crockett too, mixed around there, and Orndorff was probably one of his best feuds was against Hulk Hogan. Had some great matches in '86, I guess it was, and he famously turned on Hulk Hogan and had a feud with him, which led to great matches. There's there's the bug again, whipping in the ropes. Anyway, so Orndorff was actually in the main event at WrestleMania 1, and Ricky Steamboat was also. Both these guys actually wrestled at WrestleMania 1. Ricky Steamboat fought on the undercard, and Bull Orndorff was in the main event at WrestleMania 1 with teamed with Roddy Piper. He was the one that actually got beaten, and he got pinned, and which actually led to him becoming a good guy at the time. And then he turned bad again. That's when he had a feud with Hulk Hogan, and they had a cage match. I think they had a cage match on Saturday night's main event, and they had a really good feud. They had great matches together, Hulk Hogan and Paul Orndorff. If you could find them on YouTube or wherever the network, watch Hulk Hogan versus Paul Orndorff matches. You might like them. They were really good matches. I always liked their feud. But Paul Orndorff was yeah, he always had the nice robes and everything. He's kind of like Rick Rude and Ric Flair, one of the robe guys. Of course, Ricky Steamboat had one of the greatest matches of all time, one of the greatest WrestleMania matches against Macho Man at WrestleMania 3. And so I figured I'm always looking for different pairings to have different kinds of matches for my channel, and I thought this would be a good one today because Ricky Steamboat was a good guy at the time, and then Paul Orndorff was a good guy, but he's mostly thought of as a bad guy at that time. I mean, Paul Orndorff went on to he was in the WCW in the '90s and like that, but I most remember him from him feuding with Hogan in the '80s and main event WrestleMania 1. And Steamboat, I most remember he had actually in WCW or the NWA, Jim Crockett, he had matches with Ric Flair that were fantastic. But he also had a great time with in the WWF with of course with Macho Man, and so he was on both in the '80s, a mix. But my favorite time with Steamboat was the '87 WrestleMania 3 when he did that '86, '87. And same with Orndorff, 85, 86 in there. They were my favorite times with them in there. So we'll see who's going to win this match. Ricky Steamboat or Paul Orndorff. So I'm always trying to think of different matches people like, and I like to go back to the past and find some great stuff. So most of my matches are in the WWF 80s style ring in that time period because it was a great time period. I need to do some more Attitude Era matches. I do more with Stone Cold and some more crossover era matches. I have like Bruno Sammartino versus Stone Cold, Bruno Sammartino versus John Cena. Those type of matches. But I like to have this work with this time period. A lot of people's favorite time period was the Attitude Era. Mine was actually the WWF in the '80s. I like that. Also, the '70s are pretty good when Bruno was the champ, and guys like when Nikolai Volkov was fighting Bruno, and George Animal Steel, Superstar Billy Graham, and Bob Backlund, and the '70s had some good stuff too. But I prefer the '80s and the as I like the Attitude Era. I just if I have to choose between the Attitude Era and like if I have to choose between like 1998 and 1985, I like 1985 better. I mean, I know a lot of people choose 1998 over 1985, but it's just my taste. I like prefer 1985, the year of WrestleMania 1. Guys like King Kong Bundy in there, Big John Studd, Andre the Giant. I just say I like those guys. Oh, all right. Match was quick. Steamboat beats Paul Orndorff. That was a pretty quick match today. Yeah, some of them are quick and some of them go on for a long time. All right. So tomorrow's Thursday. I'll see you then. I hope you enjoyed the match. Bye-bye.